Good morning. Welcome to another edition of You News, where you are the reporter, or sometimes it's just us. Anyway, today is kind of a special edition. We're going to go through a couple of our top stories, and then in honor of the Queen's passing, we're going to reminisce a little about our memories of the Queen and talk to a few different Kansans and see what they have to say about the Queen's passing.
All right, so today's top stories: Kansas, the place where you can be a kid and you can be a criminal. And also, with the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, what's next for the British throne? What do they suspect life will be like under the reign of King Charles III?
Should be interesting. All right, so in Kansas, there's an interesting law we're going to discuss. Let me start by telling you about Patricia Halstead. Patricia Halstead was standing on her front yard and saw some boys climbing onto an electrical pole. She came over there and asked them to get down. "This is dangerous," said Halstead. After asking her 7 and 9-year-old neighbor boys to get off the electrical box in her front yard, it all went downhill fast. She says the 2 boys attacked her. They jumped on her, held her down to the cement, and started kicking her. She says their mom just sat on the porch watching through the whole event. After several x-rays at the ER, thankfully nothing was broken. But it's what happened next that her daughter, Jamie Pranian, says surprised them the most. Thanks to Kansas law, police cannot charge the 2 young boys with any type of crime that beat up the elderly Wichita woman. District Attorney Mark Burnett explains there's a long-standing law in Kansas that makes it illegal to charge kids under the age of 10 with a crime, leaving police no choice but to just send them home. It doesn't matter what the crime is, it's across the board. Whatever crime it is, if you're under 10, you cannot be arrested for a crime. You can't even be charged with a crime in Kansas, says Bennett. Bennett says one of the only things you can do in a situation like this is to file a child in need of care case if you think the crimes are caused by lack of supervision from the parent. In this case, there wasn't a lack of supervision. The lady actually supervised the whole event. And the police did arrest the boy's mom, Cheryl Kinchian, Monday, but that was for unrelated battery and assault charges. Halstead and her daughter say their biggest hope is that these boys get help. Once you do reach this age, if you continue to act this way, things are going to go very badly for you, said Pranian. "I hope that the kids get some help, and she gets some help," said Halstead. Halstead's landlord did say that they are kicking the boy's family out as soon as possible. But Halstead says even then, with all the threats the kids have made to her, she simply doesn't feel comfortable living here anymore. Pranian says the family can't immediately afford to find her mom a new place to live, so they did start a GoFundMe to try to get her the funds to relocate her. Very sad, very sad. Some really messed up laws in Kansas that need to be changed.
Why do you think that was ever implemented in the first place? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, why would you pass a specific law saying that you can't charge an underage kid? Maybe some senator's kid was going to get in trouble or something.
Maybe.
Who knows? Very strange.
Speaking of strange, with the death of Queen Elizabeth II, what's next for the British royal family? So now that King Charles III has taken the throne, people are questioning what to expect from his reign. Even though his reign is not likely to be long, he's actually he's waited the longest to become king than any other heir in British history. And the role will be daunting. His late mother was overwhelmingly popular and respected, but she leaves the royal family that has seen reputations tarnished and relationships strained, to say the least. You can't go 1 week without hearing about what snide comment like Meghan Markle is saying or whatnot. Charles confronts those challenges at the age of 73. He's becoming king, the oldest monarch to take the throne in a lineage that dates back 1,000 years. Wow. With his second wife, Camilla, who still divides the public opinion by his side. So Camilla will become queen consort, and that is a queen without sovereign powers of a queen. But why does she need sovereign powers anyway?
It's not like they have a whole lot of powers
Right.
at this point.
To detractors, the new king is weak, vain, interfering, and ill equipped for the role of sovereign. Ouch. He has been ridiculed for talking to plants and obsessing over architecture and the environment.
It's supposed to be healthy to talk to your plants.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. And he will long be associated with his failed first marriage to the late Princess Diana.
May she rest in peace.
Yes. Supporters say that it is a distortion of the good work he does, that he is simply misunderstood, and that in areas such as climate change he has been ahead of his time. They argue he is thoughtful and concerned about his fellow Britons from all communities and walks of life. That's good. His Prince's Trust charity has helped more than 1 million unemployed and disadvantaged young people since its launch almost 50 years ago. That's in the good interest of the British community. The trouble is you are in a no-win situation. If you do absolutely nothing at all, they are going to complain about that, Charles once told a TV documentary. If you try and get stuck in, do something to help, they also complain. The reign of King Charles III is yet to be determined as beneficial or a detriment to Britain. Whatever the case, King Charles definitely has his work cut out for him following an act like Queen Elizabeth II. Rest in peace. Which brings us to our segment where we want to talk a little bit about Queen Elizabeth II and why she was so beloved. So what are some of the reasons why you think like so many people loved her?
Well, part of it I think is just she's been with them so long that she just kind of grows on people. You know, she's the longest reigning monarch, like we said, and I think people are just kind of used to her and comfortable with her, and I don't know.
She was just so darn adorable.
Yeah, she was pretty cute.
Yep.
And I like that she did make a point to, emphasize her faith in God.
Yes.
I heard several Christian Christmas messages that she put out, and she always talked about God, and I think that's very admirable. Appreciated that about her.
Before she took the throne, she asked people to pray for her, no matter what their religion. She just wanted people to pray for her, to help her to fulfill her duties that she was going to swear to fulfill. So she really wanted to accomplish this, being very dutiful throughout her entire reign, being a complete servant, which is what Christ taught us all to do. So I think that she was a great follower of Christ, that she did what she was supposed to do and what God wanted her to do during her reign is one of the reasons why I think that she was so loved. And another way that people admired her is because she didn't give them a lot of cause not to. There was the debacle after Princess Diana's death where the throne didn't take very many measures very quickly. They didn't lower the British flag, even though she wasn't considered part of the royal family anymore. People think that it should have been lowered anyways. And also, the Queen didn't return from Balmoral or from Scotland to London for quite some time after her death, for about 5 days after her death. However, she did later explain that she was trying to protect her grandchildren from the onslaught of the media at this really hard time. So it is admirable. It looks like she chose family over duty one time when it came to her grandchildren.
Yep.
Yep. So I think that she was well loved because she didn't give like a really harsh opinion about anybody in public. Like she had over 14 prime ministers during her reign, and she didn't criticize a one of them. And her first prime minister, who was that? Who do you think?
Was that Winston Churchill?
That's right. That was her lifelong friend, was Winston Churchill. He knew her since she was born, and that was her first prime minister.
Wow.
Yep. And I heard that when Tony Blair went in for his first meeting, he was quite cocky, a little bit full of himself, but she put him in his place straight away. She told him, well, my first prime minister was Winston Churchill, and that was years before you were even born, wasn't it? So he was put in his place, and then he learned to respect the Queen. And she had a lot of respect for others as well, and showed people a lot of dignity over the years.
Awesome. And also, I heard she used to go around turning off the lights.
Did she really? Was she a secret dad?
Yeah, I heard a story like that once, that she would go around Buckingham Palace making sure all the lights were turned off because she didn't want to waste electricity. She wanted to keep the royal family as frugal as possible, as silly as that sounds,
yes.
with all their excesses. But according to this gal, the royal family doesn't actually cost the British people money, right?
Right. It actually makes them quite a bit of money every year through tourism, for one. And also, I believe that the royal family does pay some tax on their estate every year to the National Treasury. So they do make quite a bit of money off of the royal family. So appearances aren't always what they seem. Like if you see somebody that looks like they're stealing all the money from the Britons, maybe look into it before criticizing them.
Good point.
And another fun fact about the Queen is she had a secret language that she would use with her Secret Service.
Huh.
And it was all to do with her purse. Because she didn't want to be rude to anybody. But if she needed to get on with her day because she was busy, she was always determined to fill most of her time with her duties, then she would maybe perhaps turn it on to the other arm to let her service members know that, hey, she's got to go, so get me out of here. She had a secret language with her staff members so that they would know what to do and she wouldn't have to be rude.
Interesting. All right, now why don't we go and see what some average Kansans think about the Queen's passing. We've got our man on the street, Cornfed Craig. So we'll go to him now. Thanks. This is Cornfed Craig. I'm here in Mankato, Kansas with Larry. And we thought it might be interesting to see the average Kansan's opinion of the Queen. So Larry, what are your thoughts on the Queen's passing?
I didn't really care. It was really not my thing, so I just never worried about it. I figured at 96 years old, it was probably time. And now we just pass the welfare on to somebody else.
So now it's King Charles taking over. Have you ever had any, what are your thoughts on King Charles?
None.
No thoughts?
No.
Would you like to wish the good people of England best of luck with this transition or anything?
Sure. Yeah, that's up to them. And I hope, I don't know, I guess it's good for them to stay with it. I don't know. But I wouldn't want to be part of it, but that's up to them.
All right. Well, thanks, Larry. This is Craig reporting from Mankato, Kansas. Back to you. Thanks. That was an interesting commentary from an average Kansan who wasn't too interested in the Queen's passing.
No.
But I think that's not the full case. Let's hear what our other reporter, Cornfed Coreen, let's see what she has to say. Go ahead, Cornfed Coreen.
Thanks, guys. I'm Coreen, and I'm here today with Patty, my mom, and she's from Kansas. And she has a few thoughts about the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II.
Yes. When I was a child, we used to have news reports at the theater. Before the movie, they would have different news reports. And I can remember the one on Queen Elizabeth II coronation.
And what did you think about her coronation? Did you think she was a very beautiful queen, or were you impressed? Or?
Yes, I was. I remember being excited that I did see it, and I remember her robe that she was wearing, or
With the ermine.
yeah. It was beautiful, and the crown. And I just feel I've been able to watch her whole life as a monarch.
And what do you think about her reign? Do you think that she did a good job?
Oh, I think she did wonderful. The people there love her, and I think that's an expression of how she did manage her position, and the wonderful stories of how she that's Mikey, my kitty.
That's who's making all the noise.
Oh, yes. Always wants to steal the show.
Okay, what were you saying?
Well, I liked her stories about how she participated in World War II. I thought that was wonderful that she went with the people, and how important all the people were to her when she was their ruler. And it was just very impressive how much she cared for others.
Yep, not everybody may know this, but she was a mechanic during World War II. She did her part.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So thanks for joining us, and back to you, Cornfed. Thank you, Patty. And that's all that we have time for today, unless you want to add another something about Queen Elizabeth II.
Nope. I want to point out that in honor of the monarchy and England as a whole, which is where my ancestry, well, a lot of my ancestry is from. I'm from a lot of places, but I wore my England soccer jersey. So I want England to wish England. See, it's got the 3 lions.
What's the name of their club? Just England? Okay.
Their nickname is the 3 Lions because, as you can see, there's 3 lions in their crest. And I want to wish them the best of luck in the upcoming World Cup. Wouldn't that be something if they won the whole thing in honor of the Queen's passing?
That would be great.
Yeah, they're long overdue for a win. England, I believe, has only won 1 time, and it was a long time ago.
I heard that regional football clubs today, they didn't play in honor of the Queen's passing.
Oh, well, that was very, very respectful of them. All right, so that's all we have today. We would love to hear what you all thought of the Queen, maybe your memories or what you think of the monarchy, and maybe what you think of King Charles and how he's going to do. So if you can, leave those in the comments below. We would love to read them and hear what you all have to say. Thanks for joining us again, and have a wonderful day, and God bless.